Back with another video. The mind and body, there's no disconnect. There's absolutely no disconnect. What you feed the mind and what you feed the body, they all correlate within one another. So what you feed the body will impact the mind, and what you feed the mind will impact the body. And when I say mind, I'm not referring to the brain. See, those two are a bit different. When you're thinking thoughts, whether they're positive thoughts, whether they're negative thoughts, those are happening in your mind, which is the kind of intangible area. Like, you can't physically see it in your body. You can't see your mind, but you can see the brain. The brain is like the physical part of what your mind is executing. So for example, when you have thoughts of fear, those are happening in your mind. And then in your brain, the amygdala has activity in it. As in, fear is happening, so it's going to start, having activity and probably releasing a hormone called cortisol, and which is a stress hormone that happens when you're going through stress. And if you look at that example alone, what happens when you go through stress? Cortisol is released, and then your body starts tensing up because of, your mind experiencing that. So both mind and body are experiencing fear, essentially. And you see how the process kind of correlates. And it works the other way around also. When you have a relaxed body, like right now, let's say you just relax your body. Relax every single part of your body. As you relax it, your mind will just easily just start calming down when you just relax your body, because they're so interconnected. So anytime you have times where you're thinking like negative thoughts or you're feeling very tense, modify either that part of you. Well, it's not really you, but that's a different video. Modify that part of you, or modify the opposite part. So if you're having very negative thoughts, or let's say you're nervous about a presentation you have to do, relax your body and then watch your mind start getting relaxed. If you're tense all the time, go meditate, relax your mind, and then watch your tenseness kind of relieve itself. Why do you think when people, for example, the example of presentations, when people give presentations, their thoughts of, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to look bad in front of who I'm presenting in front of, what happens to them? They start stuttering on their words. They start being unsure about what they're saying. And what happens also is their posture starts going like, they start having bad posture because their thoughts are negative. Thus their body's going to reflect that. It has to. Why do you think also that people, let's say they're having a bad day, they go for a run or they go to the gym. I like to go to the gym, whether I'm having a good day or a bad day. I mean, I'm there. I mean, it's closed right now, but whether I'm having a good day or a bad day, I like going to the gym. I go there regardless. But for this example, they go for that run, right? When they go for that run, because they're not in the best mental state, they go for that run, so they start exercising the body, they start moving the muscles, burning calories, start pumping oxygen, getting their cardiovascular going. And once they start doing that, the body starts releasing endorphins, right? Endorphins in the brain start getting released. This high starts happening. This feel good, they call it the runner's high, starts occurring because they've basically done something to the body. They've influenced the body in a positive way, so the mind has to reflect that. So after they're done with their run, the problem that they had, they just forgot about it, or they came up with a solution to that problem. They're so interconnected, and it's so important to grasp this, because a lot of people's issues come down to their mind being messed up, and if their mind's messed up, their body's messed up, or vice versa. I mean, you may be saying, oh, well, I'm pretty healthy, I'm pretty fit, but my mind is kind of like all over the place a lot of times. Yeah, okay. But your body still stores trauma. Like that's why people like going to masseuses and chiropractors, because there's certain tension in different joints in different areas of the body that they don't really know about. And they go in and they get that massage, and then when they leave, they feel amazing, because those different areas in the body stored certain kinds of trauma and just negativity in them. Like their muscles just tense from them, because over time, when you're constantly getting stressed out through things in life, right? Your body is gonna store that trauma. It's gonna tighten your muscles, right? Energy doesn't get destroyed. It goes somewhere. It always goes somewhere. It gets released and it just circulates. So that's very key. That's a very key distinction to understand. You know, I think a lot of people will forget this because it's very easy to forget this because I think science and the medical industry, they study the brain and then they study the body, and then it's like exercise for the body, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining muscle, and then training your brain, reading books, doing math problems. That's great, but they're so interconnected. Another example is people that do yoga, like people that stretch their ligaments, their muscles, and after they're done, they have such a clarity of mind, such a calm mind. That's why people call it a type of meditation, because their mind is so at ease. Just from influencing the body, the mind gets influenced. If your diet is bad, I almost guarantee you that the thoughts that you have are pretty much negative for the most part. Because on average, they say we have about 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. If you're feeding your body negative things that aren't conducive to your health in the long term, if you're always satisfying your taste buds over what your body needs to function properly, then in the long run, your brain can only go off of what nutrients you're giving it. If you're giving it Twinkies, it can only go off those sugary nutrients, those processed, all the processed stuff that's in Twinkies. And then, you know, of course, your body makes cells out of them, so you get where this is going. I could give countless examples. When you hurt yourself, right? You have a wound, and then, you know, you feel that wound, and then now you're like, all you're doing is thinking about that wound that you just had. Like, let's say you cut your foot or something while you're hiking, and then all you can think about is that injury because you're like, damn, like it hurts, right? That's what your mind is on, and now everything you see is like kind of more negative rather than how it actually is. So key things to take away from this video: when you're feeling a negativity in either the body or the mind, look at how you can influence that part to influence the other part, or how you can influence the mind in order to influence the other part. If you're feeling down on yourself, go for a run, and then your mind will probably get really clear. Yes, it's very key to study the body and the mind, study the parts, study how your hormones work, study all of that, because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're in this body, if you're a human, or if you're just a being living a human experience, you might as well understand what the human body does, how the brain works, how to influence the brain, how to make it work in your favor, because you're always going to be using your brain. Your brain never turns off. It never shuts down. Right now, you're building new cells. Right now, you're pumping blood, and you're not even thinking about it. Like, the brain is 24/7, and the brain couldn't do that without the body, and the body couldn't have all this blood being pumped without the brain. It's completely together. So again, anytime one area is messed up in, look at the other area and then adjust. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Email me if you have any questions. Take care of yourselves. Peace.